morning, and everyone. Welcome to the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny, and I will give you the webinar today. I hope that you can see the screen. We are not having the webinar on the web trader as always. We're going to have a shorter version by request to show you a little bit on MT4. But before we do so, I would like first to explain how the webinar is going to happen, and then we can hit the road. Okay, so the initial part will be more of an introduction to the company. What is AvaTrade? What services we have, and how it can assist you along your journey. The second part will be more practical, so we're gonna go through some interesting things in MT4, and we'll see how we can maneuver with it. Okay, and lastly, perhaps we will discuss some analysis if time will allow us. Okay, all right. So, and it's also important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, a recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay. Furthermore, I'm going to tell you guys that the webinar is recorded. So even if you've missed a part or you didn't fully, you would just want to recap some parts as an example, you can definitely see the recorded version in our website, in our YouTube channel, and enjoy the webinar again. We are going to open here with, as I said, with a quick introduction to the company. I'm just going to get myself here a notepad to write down our notes. Okay, so as you know, AvaTrade is a regulated company. We exist since 2006 and we have 9 licenses worldwide. Our customer service is accessible via our website through logging in into avatrade.com, and then click on the left bottom corner. There is a live chat, and the other alternative is to send an email to customer service through cs@avatrade.com. Okay, and in case you have any query regarding trading, you can ask for a senior account manager that can assist you with the trading side. So the customer service can give you full support with everything related to the customer service, and a senior account manager can give you support with everything that's basically related to trading. So that means strategy, a trading plan, calculations, even things that I'm going to explain to you today. He can assist you with that as well. Okay, now let's begin. Like I said, with we're going to look today at MT4. We're going to see how things are and how we can customize and understand trading a bit better. Okay, some of the things that you can do is to change how the candles and the shape of the chart is looking like. This is also something that you can save later on as a profile. Okay, let's keep it. I just want to change to show you that, and then I'll put it back in place. You see, you can change the background as well for something lighter, as an example, this way, but it looks, I usually keep it black. Okay, right, so what we're looking at is gold. Okay, as you can see, if I click here on the tiny arrow, it opens me the ability for a quick position. We're not going to do that, okay, at this stage. Okay, we're not going to use that. But it allows me to see the buy and the sell price, the bid and the ask. We always buy at the ask price and we sell at the bid. And to begin with, first of all, I can choose an asset from the list here. And the second thing that I can do is I can add a chart from the list at the upper left corner. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to click here on File and then click on New Chart. And then I have here all the categories, okay, Forex. Here at the bottom, we have CFDs, we have also stocks, we have metals. Okay, I'm not going to show you stocks now because the market is closed, but we can go with, let's say, oil as an example. Okay, then we can go back to gold. You see that gold stayed with the things that we've changed Let's say we're going to make it gray as an example. Right, so now it stays as it is. If I switch to oil, see, I can also customize it for oil as well. Yeah, and I can click here on the tiny arrow to have the quick order menu. Okay, so when I choose an asset, as I said, to begin with, what I want to do is I want to choose an asset either from here from the list, and then I can right click and then a chart window. Okay, and if I wish to trade, so I can simply click and go for new order. Okay, and then it's going to show me how many units I have in the contract. What is the buy price, the sell price, and here I can also place a pending order. Okay, we'll get to that. Let's write down. Let's begin with putting down some ingredients that will help us construct the position. Okay, I just would like to mention before we carry on with the platform, would like to say that we have a website based platform, just a second, that is called a web trader, and it's also in the app. It's called Avago. Okay, and we also have Ava Social and Ava options. And this is MT4, but we have a very similar similar platform that is called MT5. Okay, MT5 is not so different. The procedures are a bit different to open a position, and it's maybe more if I would have an aggressive diversification, perhaps MT5 would be more maybe suitable. Okay, but you can do both with both. You can also use any strategies you want with MT4 and MT5. It's really open for self-interpretation, but I'm just going to write it down. MT4 and MT5. Okay. And this is the platforms that we have. I would recommend, in terms of, because this is a webinar for beginners after all, I would say that Ava Social is an amazing contribution for somebody who just started. From a simple reason, it lets you follow or copy another trader. So that means, in other words, if I'm uncertain about my next moves, or if I am, but I just want to have additional strategy at the same time, okay, without me actually trading, what I can do is I can download the app, and then I can follow or copy somebody. And when I'm following somebody, okay, another trader which I can pick from the list by different criterias, what happens then is I get messages with his positions, and I can either execute similarly, okay, or I can adjust it and then execute it, or I can just keep it in my sheets and perhaps use it as a reference, as an example, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and if I would to copy someone, so that means that the whole process is going to happen similarly, but the positions will be also executed automatically. Okay, so follow, that means I choose someone, I'm following, I'm getting messages, I can also trade as the person, or I can just leave it as it is. Okay, if I'm copying someone, I'm also getting the messages, okay, of that person with the positions, and it's executing them as well. Okay, so this is copy trading versus following. Okay, that's the difference. As I said before, you can adjust the positions. You don't have to execute exactly as the person you're following. You can do that, but you can also adjust it. Unfortunately, I don't have the interface now to show you how it looks, but you can download the app. It's free, it's very user-friendly, and the rest of the content is there for you to see. I just don't want to go too far with explaining how it works. I'm going to leave you the rest of the adventure. And that's regarding the platforms that we have. Now, let's get down to business, as we say. And I think the gray doesn't really suit to what we want. This is why a bear candle will be red, bull candles stay green. That's not a bad idea. Okay, there's a lot of green here, but I don't think that setting things up right now is with time that we have. So I'm just going to carry on. What do we do it with, oil or gold? Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to show you is just how to change. Okay, so I'm going to do it a little slower. Okay, it looked like that in the beginning. As you can see at the upper area, I have the time frames. Okay, this in our website, if you're familiar with the website, it's found to the left corner. Okay, left upper corner next to the search field. In here, we don't have a search field. Okay, I can search it in here and I can click. Let's see if it will still work. Click. Yeah, well, I'm going to explain about it later. But you can either search it in here manually, or you can click on the file and then to find it from the list, as I've explained, by categories. Okay, but let's suppose you want to see it this way, and this is not enough for us to analyze the candles because we can't really understand anything. What I can do is I can click on the crosshair, okay, on my wheel on my mouse. Okay, the mouse that I'm moving now with my hand, there is the wheel which I can click, and it's gonna load a horizontal and a vertical line. Okay, a crosshair. It's gonna load a crosshair. I can also find it here. Okay, I can also find it here. I can do click F and it will appear. It doesn't matter really which way you're doing it. I'm just used to do it this way, and then it's here. To cancel it, I can click on the left hand or right hand clicker on my mouse. Okay, so let's suppose that I can analyze this way, and that's very lovely, but the lines doesn't stay. So what I can do is I can, in a minute, I'm going to show you how to place the lines. But let's suppose that this scenario here is not something that I can analyze properly with the way that it looks now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the first thing is I'm going to click here on the magnify with a plus. Okay, or I can just click plus on my keyboard, and it lets me get closer. Furthermore, right now what we're looking at is the bars. Okay, the bars, they can be changed with Alt +1, Alt +2, or Alt +3. If I go for Alt +3, it's going to take me to the primitive. If you remember, we used to have this way back in the past, the traditional line. We have the bars which we saw, and we have the candles here, which we are, most of the people are more familiar with. And right now, it seems much more useful to analyze. Okay, now once we have this ready, we can hover between. So this is, let's begin from the left to the right. We have here 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 31, 4 hours, 1 day, 1 minute, and 1 month. Let's go for 1 day for the time being. Okay, again, this doesn't look too great, so I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, now it seems to be better. Okay, let's even make it. Okay, so I should have. Okay, I'm going to show you. There are levels here at the top and at the bottom, which I'm not really happy with the way that it looks. Okay, let's suppose I want to see those levels. Don't worry, we're getting to the trading part in a minute, guys. I see people starting asking questions. That's completely understood. But before I'm teaching you to trade, first we need to learn how to prepare ourselves, our working environment. Okay, so that's in order to just analyze things a bit more carefully, a bit more conveniently. So let's suppose I want to see those levels, and now it's a bit difficult to see. what I can do is you can see that there is a column here with the price. Yeah, there is a column here to the right with the price for oil. Okay, we're looking at oil. Let's get rid of that. And then I did it with a tiny arrow here, right? So in order to minimize the chart, just to make it to minimize it down, okay, I'm just gonna click here on the column and I'm gonna squeeze it down. Okay, I'm gonna click and I'm gonna take it down, okay, to the level that fits right. And as you can see, the lines have moved along. If I want to get rid of one, I'm just gonna click it and click delete. Okay, just gonna do it from here. And for the time being, we're gonna proceed with what we have. Let's just make it a bit smaller. Okay, let's add another line for the middle. And that looks very, very good. Okay, everything else seems in place. Okay, perhaps we can also mark the certain dates that we want, right? Let's suppose that we analyze that area where we see that the resistance has reached a certain peak. Not really a big fan of this color, so I think we're going to change that to something a bit more light. Let's make it aqua. Okay, we're going to make this one the same. Okay, again, you don't have to use the same things that I do. This is really, really your own reference and your own style. I don't know if to call it a style, but whatever you want to make the colors visible for you, you can definitely see it. It doesn't have to look this way. But as you can see, I've customized it to be able to approach the market with a nice overview, which I have now. Now, I guess some people already know why I've placed those lines, right? And to move the lines, I'm not going to be able to do anything unless I click on the lines. I want you to see the difference. If I click here, okay, it lets me move it. You see that it's marked. There's like a white kind of a squarey thing here, see at the bottom and at the top, and it lets me move the line. That means that it's marked. And in here I don't have it. This is why it doesn't move. But if I click it, it lets me move it. Okay, super simple, super simple. I don't have to move it by hand, by the way. I can just click it, okay, and I can go to the parameters and just change to whatever price I want. Let's suppose I wanted to sit on 87 flat. I'm gonna go 87.0, and it jumps, it falls down to the exact number. Same apply with 67.5. Let's suppose we want to do that. So again, I'm going to click it. I'm going to see those two white dots. Click here, go horizontal, and in the parameters, I'm going to go 67.5 and hit OK. All right. Now, what exactly are we looking at here? Let's suppose that this scenario is more meant for a sell. Okay, let's suppose this is a sell. How could I possibly know that? I mean, why would I think this way? Is because those are bearish candles. Those are bearish candles. Okay, and as you can see, we're gonna make it red. Okay, bear it down. We're gonna make it red. Then it's easier to see. Bull, we'll make it green. Maybe this green. And that looks very, very good. Bear candle, gonna be red. So we have the bulls in green. That green looks a bit funky, isn't it? Let's keep it this way for now. Okay, and now, when we are looking at, let's say, previously, the previous candle, okay, that is an example. So we can see what I'm pointing on it. Let's let it, it's right here. I don't know if you guys are able to see that. It's right here, okay? Let me write it down as well for you. Okay, so what we're analyzing it is yesterday. Okay, let's place a timeline on it as well. I'm getting it from here. I'm gonna place it. So you can see this is the 4th. Okay, and let's write down here the specifications. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna write down the dates. Okay, and now we see that the open here is 74.04. Close is 72.95. The high, we're going to speak about it in a second, and we'll understand exactly what it means. Open, close, high, and lows. Okay. Now, from that, I can understand that because the candle has opened with 74 and it ended with 72, this is a bearish candle, right? How come it's a bearish candle? Because a bear slammed his opponent to the ground, a bull left his opponent in the air, and this is why we are calling a bullish candle a positive candle, a bullish candle, and a negative candle a bearish candle. Okay, very, very simple. Now, when I'm looking at the candles, and I can understand that this is already the second candle, second bearish candle. Okay, and I think that there is a potential for, let's suppose, for oil to go even further down. Now, I can't be too sure right now what will happen. Let's suppose that we're going to bring it back, our lovely quick order interface here. Okay, and I wish to go with just 0.1. Yeah, can I do that, guys? Can I take the position now with the sell? Okay, again, let me clarify one more time. When I am selling something, okay, that means that my intention is that the value of my asset will decrease. Yeah, value will decrease. 73 will be high, will be lower. That's how I can make profit with the sell. When I'm buying something, my intention is that the value will increase. However, right now in this present time, we have absolutely no idea what will happen if we click here sell. We just don't know what will happen, how much we can make, how much we can lose. If this is really a sell though, how can I know it will stay a sell? Maybe I'm going to take a sell now. Okay, it will get to my, let's make this guy something else. Let's make it maybe this time white, right? Okay, so if it gets to the white line, it gets to the white line, and let's get rid of that. Okay, if it gets to the white line and it turns around, did my sell, will my sell still make profit? The answer is yes. I will make profit as long as my price is lower than my current price and I have covered the spread. Okay, now we're going to write down a couple of things because we are moving ahead and I want you guys to be able to use it as something systematic and not just words that you're understanding. Okay, so I'm going to write down a couple of things that will hopefully will help us construct the position with more sense. So the first one will be target, second will be time, third will be movements, and units will be the last. Okay, and the way that this works is very, very simple. What we're going to do is we are going to look at the chart. As we said, we have done some prior steps, if you want to put it this way. The first thing that we did is we picked an asset. We did it from here. We clicked on File. We clicked on New Chart. We picked the asset. Perfect. Initially, the chart looked very, very different, very much like, I hope that it's not, yeah, it looked very much like that. And then we have done some things. We clicked here on the plus. Okay, we also minimized it down. We clicked F2 to make it, oh, okay, we clicked, never mind, here, or F2, sorry, Alt 2 to make it look like that. We also placed some lines from here, right, for support and resistance and the center. And we also had added some timelines to it as well. Now, to get to that, it's really a personal customization, so I'm not going to waste a second on that. But when I'm looking at this chart, the best place for me to begin with, let me also maybe zoom out a bit and make it a bit smaller. Maybe this way is enough. Now, the way that I would like to approach this is I have 4 ingredients set down, and because I have no idea what's going on now, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna take a sell. How much can I make? Do I have enough money to take this position anyway? Okay, so in order to know all those things, the first thing I'm gonna begin with is setting myself a target. Okay, when I have a target and I know, okay, I have reached to the target that I wanted, so obviously I can close the position. Okay, as simple as it gets. If I don't have any target, how can I know where am I going to close the position? I can never know that, right? Okay, so setting myself a target will help me with the first step. Now my target in this case is going to be $1,000. Okay, the reason is I have here 10,000 in balance. Okay, and I want to have 1,000 as a profit. Now, the time length, how is it any help to what we're trying to achieve here? Is if I'm going to find a way to make $1,000, okay, I'm going to show you several variations. Then $1,000 can mean, if I put it in a different time length, it will mean something else. Okay, so for instance, if I'm going to make $1,000 occasionally, let's say once a week, right? Per week. So that's amazing. I make 4,000 a month. I'm not gonna get rich from that, but that's a very good beginning. Okay, if I make it in a month, maybe it's enough for some groceries and some other stuff. If I make it per year, might be very bad because I'm making 85 quid a month, right? Or something like that. Let me do it with you. Yeah. Okay, so that's not as bright. So I need to choose time that makes sense to me. Same way I'm not going to go to work for $1. Okay. Okay, so let's say per week. Okay. Now, we've reached the movement stage. So the movement is what I've explained. So you see, if I'm taking a sell now, I can never be too sure how far down can oil possibly get. Maybe it will go to 72. Maybe it will go to 71. Maybe it will go to here. Maybe to here. Okay, so how can I know that? Now, one of the things that I can do is I can add an indicator, okay, from here, from the indicators, and I can go for average true range, indicators and then average true range, okay? But before we do that, let's apply that. And with that, we simply gonna, let's make it, not sure if Blue will confuse us. We miss something. Okay, let's keep it as it is. Okay, perfect. So the ATR, as you can see, is giving us an average per day. Why? Because we're looking at days. So what's happening here is we are trying to find the movements of what crude oil can move per week. And why? Because our target is weekly target. Yeah, it's very simple. So because our target is weekly target, it would make sense to change to weeks. And now the ATR is showing us the average per week. Okay, super simple, guys. If I would change it to month, then I would have the ATR per month. Okay, super simple. Now let's keep it per week. And now we see that the ATR here is 3.9. By the way, if I look at a different candle, okay, you see that I allowed it with the data windows. Okay, the data windows is right here, and then it sticks to the chart and it's showing us. You may see that if I hover with my hand across different candles, the ATR changes as well. How so? Because the asset has different tendency as time goes on. Okay, you have to agree with me that those candles and this candles doesn't look the same size. Yeah. Therefore, if it moves and fluctuated much more here, so we can see that the ATR is suddenly 8.8. Yeah, we can see it here, 8.8, when in here it's barely 4. Yeah. Now, okay, so we have a target, and now we have a time length, and now we have the ATR. The ATR is 3.9. Let's round it to 4. Okay, that's 3.9 per barrel. Okay, and how can we if I don't want to use the ATR, what I can do is I can just compare the things that I wrote here, and I can simply subtract the open from the close and the high from the lows. Yeah, this is daily candle. I'm sorry, this is daily candle. Let's try it with a week. Okay, so this is the last week. Let's just change that quickly. We have here the information. Of course, you don't have to do manual checking, guys. You can use the ATR. I'm just giving you here a tool to do it the old-fashioned way, but it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. And just a second, and you can either use it or not use it. Okay, we got close. Yeah, looks perfect. And now what we're gonna do is 77.83 minus 76.76, and that's just 1. That's the difference between the open and the close, and the high and the lows is 5. Okay, I guess that if we accumulate those numbers, we somehow get to the ATR. But again, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. The ATR is doing it for us. And also, I can modify it, by the way. Okay, I can change the length, the period of candles that it grasps. And if I don't want it to go 14 weeks backward, I can just make it 10 or 7, maybe half. Okay, it changes it a little bit. We're not getting into that now. Yeah, and the final step on our composition is usually the units. And I want you to see, guys, that the necessary units to make $1,000 with $4 per barrel is, how can we find it? Let's do it together. We have target divided by movements equals units. In other words, 1,000 divided by 4 is how much? Who can tell me? Who can tell me, guys, how much is 1,000 divided by 4? Anyone, come on. Very good, Josh, 250. Very good. So we're gonna do this together. Okay, and as Josh write down, Hil Malani, very good. You guys are great. So 250. Now, how will I place it in my platform? How does, okay, so I'm gonna click here on the arrow. How does 250 looks like in here? Is it this way? What do you guys think? Is that okay if I put it this way? No, this is 250 lots. Okay, that's a lot different than 250 barrels. To have 250 barrels, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the right click and I'm gonna go trading and then new order, or I can just do it from here. Sorry, I can do it from the asset itself. Okay, from oil, or I can click F9 and then it just opens it. And then I can see one lot equals 1,000 barrels. 1,000 barrels. Therefore, to make it 250, what do I have to do? To make it a quarter. To make it a quarter, and then a quarter out of 1,000 is 250. Okay, and then I can either buy or sell. Now, as an addition, if for instance I want to stop the position exactly as the ATR is telling me, this $4 away, and the price now, as we saw, is 73.5. Okay, let's see, now price is 73.5. Okay, not yet, but I'm rounding it a little bit. Let's be precise with it. Okay, or no, let's keep it this way. And we have the take profit price is 73.5 plus 4, that's 70. Okay, I'm gonna do it with you guys. Okay, and God forbid the stop loss can be the same, just the other way around, which makes it 69.5, right? Again. Okay. And in here, we should anticipate, what should we anticipate? We should anticipate $1,000 profit, and in here, $1,000 loss. Okay? Very, very simple. There is really no much to it. You can really understand it from the simple equation that I wrote here. And if you're using the web trader, it's 10 times easier because all of those things are already written there. Okay, maybe not all of them, but it's easier with the calculations. Okay, you should know though that to be able to afford this position, which by the way depends on my leverage, so I'm quickly just going to recap that part just so we will have it, because on the website it's showing it, but in here it's not showing it. Okay, let's go with, oh sorry, wait, the specifications. Okay, so oil, we're gonna go to new chart. Okay, no, it's gonna look this way. It doesn't help us at all. Stay where it is. Okay, so that depends on the leverage, as I've explained. And to be able to afford this position, what I can do is a quick calculation. Let's call it by its name. Okay, so to get to the value, first, to know how much I need to begin with knowing how much this position worth. How much does it worth? 73.5, which is our price, times 250, which makes our value Again, guys, as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, the website is showing you those things automatically. Therefore, you don't have to know it. You don't have to know it, but I'm just showing it to you to be able to utilize with MT4 and MT5 much more comfortably. I'm going to also put the equation here, don't worry, and therefore it makes it I'm going to show you now everything. So this is price times units. Here we have the leverage. Leverage, whoever doesn't know, leverage multiplies buying and selling. We have here value divided by leverage equals margin requirement. Okay, and that's how it is, guys. So let's just, before we had a little delay, I allow myself to stay with you guys a bit longer. Okay, and I just want to quickly recap what we did today. Okay, now the first thing was obviously to set the chart. Okay, we went through that. We changed to candles. We placed the lines and the the indicators and everything. Very good. The second thing that we did was obviously to put down the numbers for us to make sense. We determined some. Oh, I almost forgot to show you guys support and resistance. This is why I've placed those lines anyway. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand the concept, and then I keep going with the recap, and we will finish the webinar. Okay, as you can see, now when we're looking at weeks, our top line, our pivot point here, the peak of our chart is at 95.16. And the bottom area, 63.87, will be our support. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The higher stage is called resistance. This is our roof, if you want to put it this way. And the bottom area is called support. Okay, and the center line that I described is around 79.5. Now, why is that important? Because those lines will be crossed, oil will cross those lines usually if there is a fundamental impact. Okay, we don't have time to get into that. We have a huge fundamental webinar by Mr. Frey, which is remarkable. And as I told you in the beginning, guys, we wanted to have an MT4 webinar today, but unfortunately we had some obstacles to go over, so we had to start a bit later. I really hope that for the people who've been wanting MT4 webinar, they got a bit of understanding how it works and the tools to utilize with it. I understand that this webinar is not really putting you through comprehensive process. Okay, this is really just to set things up and to be able to have a good overview on what's happening. Yeah, and you can watch it again. You can go to our channel and watch it again with no problem at all. So guys, thank you all for coming and joining us today and having patience until we started. I wish you all a fruitful week. You can join us tomorrow with a live Q&A. Other than that, best of luck with trading and have a good day.